Yo, what is up guys? So we're here to showcase off the new scraps in action, specifically the new Link monster, making them so much more viable in the game courtesy of Spaghetti Rolls, aka Floppy Magic Carp. But anyways, he's going to be showing off his variant using, of course, the Resonator support, which I think is probably one of the best supports if you actually want to synchro in 2018. There's so many builds with them. They're just kind of used as a stepping stone, and in addition to that, it just lets you get out an extra monster, and you know, one of them happens to be a tuner that you do play. It can give you some extra push ability with OTKing your opponent. Now in this instance, we're not going to be going for an OTK here, but Firewall Dragon is out, and we have Scrap Twin Dragon. You'll see the other card very soon, which is of course the Link monster, the Scrap Wyvern. So what it does is it has that effect where you target a Scrap monster graveyard and just special summon it, then you destroy one card you control. It actually is really good with a field spell. You'll see a few duels here where it's just like absolute blow up, but this one's a little bit back and forth here. He's going to go ahead and activate the effect of the Scrap Twin Dragon. He's going to bust out the Scrap Wyvern. He's going to go ahead and activate its effect to destroy a card. Then Scrap Golem is able to actually bring you out another monster. It's actually kind of hard to commentate because it's so fast with scraps over here. But anyways, so yeah, you target a monster in your graveyard as soon as you summon it, and then you special summon it, then you destroy another card. And then if a face-up scrap monster on the field is destroyed by card effect, while this monster is on the field, you can just special summon another scrap monster from the deck, then destroy one card on the field, which is obviously really good. Each effect of it can only be used once per turn. But next up, we're going to be going for the classic Scrap Dragon. We're going to pop the Synchron Resonator, and that's going to allow you to re-add back Red Resonator later on for some other plays here. Like I said, it's kind of a good card for a stepping stone. It has the other effect where if it's special summon, you get to actually gain some life points. It's a small thing, but it's just a little bit of a bonus here. But we got a couple different duels here up against Mr. Kaiju Dangers, which has been a pretty popular deck. I've seen a lot of those variants, so just anything with Dangers automatically makes it a little bit better. Anyways, Scrap Wyvern going to be activating its effect. So it's going to go ahead and summon that Scrap Golem and another Scrap Golem that's going to basically get back the cards you just summoned anyways. So that's an insane play. And that's already a game you already know because he was able to pop his opponent's Story Mirror Force because he didn't really have any other options. I don't know why you waited for that Gold Sark though, bro. But anyways, Scrap Factory makes it so all Scrap monsters gain 200 attack and defense. It's a small amount, but sometimes it can be perfectly there to make it actually a game. But then when a face-up Scrap monster on the field is destroyed by card effect, except during the damage step, you just supposed to summon a scrap monster from the deck. That's insane. So basically what the Wyvern allows you to do, if you happen to have like the right cards, obviously you're going to use 2 cards to make it, so you should be able to bring something back. You destroy it, and then you can destroy another card your opponent controls also if there was a scrap monster that was destroyed, which is always going to be a scrap monster you're destroying. You do have to destroy one card, which could work well with maybe some like dinosaurs, or just there's other decks that just gain effects if they're destroyed by, let's say, like a card effect. But in the scrap deck, it's going to be a scrap card for the most part. But up here, having Summoner Monk in our hand, so we're going to go ahead and summon the Summoner Monk. Go ahead and activate Summoner Monk's effect, getting rid of Reborn. That's how good this deck is. Doesn't even need Reborn. Authoros is going to go ahead and get rid of Beast. And we're going to go ahead and summon the Scrap Golem, obviously with that Scrap Factory. The Wyvern's going to go ahead and bring out double of the Refrigerators, the Scrap Golems. This card is just insane. And then we're also busting out the Needle Fiber over here. We also have Scrap Worm coming out. It's just basically a tuner. It can't attack directly, but you're not going to use that for that effect at all. So we're going to go ahead and actually summon a monster to opponent's board. We're going to actually pop one of our cards to bounce back. You know, Scrap Twin Dragon is actually not a bad card now with, of course, the additions of Scrap Golems to just be able to get out another card for free. Going for this card is actually pretty good. It has that effect. It used to be considered kind of like a bad scrap card, but it will let you select one card you control and 2 cards your opponent controls. You destroy one card you control, and then you bounce double of the cards back. And then also when it's destroyed by an opponent's card, either by battle or by card effect, you just select one non-synchro scrap monster in your graveyard and special summon it, which of course is 99% of the time is going to be Golem. I actually did play scraps for a while back when Pendulum like first came out. I remember I was like, oh my gosh, this card is insane. Let's go ahead and see what the matchup does against the Time Lords, because sometimes certain decks, they have a real trouble of dealing with the Time Lord. Not that I would consider Time Lords very meta, but I see it once in a while. Let's go ahead and check out this matchup over here so you guys get some variety of gameplay here. But I don't think the deck is that bad at all. Well, I can't really deal with, let's say, like a Danger FTK. Well, at least not with this hand, because that deck is just absolutely just too strong turn one when you don't have hand traps. That's just kind of how that deck is. But nonetheless, it can deal with boards relatively quick, and I do like that because you have the option to basically pop one, and then you have basically 2 golems that you can summon, courtesy of course, the new Wyvern card. You get a lot of free advantage, and Golem is insane. And he's going to go ahead and special summon the Goblin there. Going to go ahead and go right into the Wyvern, bring him back at Refrigerator. Going to go ahead and pop some cards. Go ahead and special summon another Refrigerator. The fact that Refrigerator is not like a once per... I mean, its own effect is a once per turn, but it's not like you can only use one effect of, you know, Scrap Golem. Like once per, like, that turn, if that makes sense. Like, you can, as long as it's a different Scrap Golem, go for it, man. We busting out the BLS, we busting out extra cards, and we're gonna go ahead and get rid of our opponent's card over there. But, nonetheless, pretty good stuff. The guy was like, dude, I'm outies. But, we've got 2 more plays for you guys, so you guys can check it out. These 2 are gonna be against zombies. This first one, I believe, is the Shurnui zombie. There's one of the newer zombie, starter/structure deck that is coming out in the game as well. Anyways, All-Thro's gonna go ahead and pop the Goblin. Go ahead and proc those effects over there. So Goblin's effect, because I didn't go over Goblin's effect. I think this game while you're seeing the gameplay here. But anyways, this is a card that you used to be able to set. It can be destroyed battle. This face-up defense position is selected as a target. You destroy it at the end of the battle phase, and if it's destroyed by the effect of a scrap card, which includes itself, and sent to the graveyard, you can select a scrap monster in your graveyard and add it back to your hand. Not a bad card at all, but we also, again, have Needle Fiber over here. It's going to be our opponent's turn. So we've got Needle Fiber. We've also got the Scrap Twin Dragon. He's going to go ahead and have that Mayakashi out, but we're going to go ahead and go for... Okay, so this one is the Mayakashis. This is a different one. It's not. I don't believe this one's a starter/structure deck unless it is coming out in the TCGS one. But anyways, we got Coral Dragon out. Good stuff. He's gonna go ahead and just use all those cards as stepping stones. Got all those effects. I know he's chaining multiple because you can only get one of those anyways. That's part of the Mayakashi. Why are you chaining all of them? Maybe it isn't a bad idea though, guys, to actually activate multiple effects though, because if your opponent has one card that like negates one of them, at least you got another. I think you should just activate one of them, unless your opponent you know, happens to have an Ash Blossom and they're waiting for you to activate it like the 3rd or 4th time. But yeah, it does actually make sense to go for 2 of them. Not even memeing. It's because if your opponent has a hand trap again. But 3, that would mean your opponent would have to have like 3. Like we got DD Crow. What did we got? Called by the Grave from the graveyard, and then another like negate. Like it's kind of rare, but I'm going to go ahead and bounce back those cards and pop. The Scrap Twin Dragon is really showing itself right now in the game. Oh, this is against Lunalights. Okay. So we got Foolish Burial Goods. Go ahead and see the Lunalights in action. Dead Birds. Is he referring to the Lunalights? Because I feel like these aren't exactly birds, but let's see how it deals under number 41. Well, keep in mind, guys, the Scraps, at least the Link Monster, that will be in attack position. Looks like this guy is on the defensive side. He's just going to go ahead and charge up. He's going to go ahead and search out some cards here. Just pass because, well, I would still search out, though, unless there's something that says you cannot search. I don't know why you wouldn't want to deck thin over here. But he's got no more attachments on his number 41. I'm going to summon that Scrap Monster, but its effect is going to be negated. Now, this effect will not be negated, but this card's effect, when it is special summon, you have to destroy a Scrap card, but that won't apply because this is going to go ahead and negate that. But still going to be getting, ooh, he's going to go ahead and get rid of that effect because remember, this monster's effect is not negated. It's just everything that's in defense position. Wow. Under a 41, being able to pull off this, that's pretty dirty, man. You guys already know the deal with, of course, the Red Resonator. Like I mentioned before, that small amount of life points sometimes can help out. I'm busting out the BLS, going for the Resonator engine. He's going to go ahead and pop Scrap Dragon to pop his card. But he's going to go ahead and activate that effect. Go ahead and negate that. Getting some extra life points. He's going to go ahead and pop the Scrap Dragon. Scrap Dragon does let you get another Scrap monster in the graveyard and just let him special summon that. So he's going to finally get over that monster, do some damage here. Dang, I thought we were gonna see your OTK in that play. These are the first time I'm checking this out, by the way, guys. So it's a little bit more exciting. Sometimes I like to watch some of the replays like briefly just to make sure that they're good, but I guess like that was it. Okay, I was really hoping to see an OTK. If he had not had the protection card, I'm pretty sure we would have saw an OTK. But it definitely shows you guys the powers of the new scraps. Go ahead and do a quick little deck profile over here. If you guys have some suggestions, would love to hear them down below in the comment section below. I think cards that would really make this much better though, honestly, Called by the Grave, Ash Forehead, those would be excellent cards. In fact, I think you can throw some Pot of Desires up in here, because, I mean, Scrap Golem is good, don't get me wrong, but after you go for your combo, I mean, or if you just want some extra draw power, because Scraps don't really have too much draw power as far as I'm aware of. I mean, they have this to add one, but there's not like a huge advantage that you get other than maybe like Scrap Storm that lets you draw one. But I think that some draw power would not be a bad idea in the deck. Summoner Monk would be like your only dark target, so you can't really run a lure. They're all like, what? Wait. Okay, I guess Savage Dragon's dark, but that's not even as part of it. All the scraps are earth. I'm really wondering if there's any draw power. I think there was some for machines, earth machines, but I don't recall any. Let me know, guys, in the comment section below if there's any draw power for this deck, because I really feel like this deck could be pretty decent. It does have the potential to OTK, but as far as that stun ability, it just comes down to what you're running inside of the extra deck. But anyways, let's go and jump into the deck profile. So we've got 3 Scrap Refrigerators, aka Scrap Golem, the best card in the deck. We have 2 copies of the Altheros, 2 copies of Chimera, 2 copies of Beast, 3 Summoner Monks, double Goblins, 3 copies of Red Resonator, 2 copies of Scrap Worm, 1 Scrap Searcher, 1 Synchron Resonator, 3 copies of Scrapyard, 1 for 1 Resonator Engine, 3 copies of Resonator Call, 1 Card Destruction, double Terraforming, 1 Foolish, 1 Reborn, 3 copies of Scrap Storm, and 3 copies of Scrap Factory. For the extra deck, we got 1 Atomic Scrap Dragon, which you're probably never going to be busting out, let's be honest here. You select 1 card you control and 3 cards in your opponent's graveyard, and you destroy the card, and you return those opponent's cards back into the deck. It's really rare, but it can be technically used. But when this card is destroyed, you get to select a non-single scrap monster and special summon, just like all the rest of them have that effect. And then we got 3 copies of Scrap Twin. I mean, he's really shown good use of this to OTK. Then we got Boiler Load, we got Scrap Dragon, we got Coral, you got Borload, Boral Sword, Saryuja, Firewall, Blackluster, 2 copies of Scrap Wyvern, and Needle Fiber, and then I guess you just side decked 1 over here. But yo, that was a pretty good deck. You definitely showed off the new Scrap Wyvern, which is basically just get out double, somebody's triple even refrigerator, return insane stuff, man. But overall, not too bad of a deck, but let me know, guys, what you would change in this build, or maybe just in Scraps in general, down below in the comment section below. But anyways, thanks again, Floppy, Magikarp, for hooking me up with the plays, and shoutouts to you. If you guys would like a shoutout, you guys got any cool replays of anything new in Yu-Gi-Oh!, feel free to go ahead and send it to AzneyesReplays@gmail.com. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button to see more new Yu-Gi-Oh! Content. And thanks for watching. Peace out.